Good evening and welcome to the 25th episode. Last time I had left you all with a question of what could be a bigger reason to not start our innovation projects with ideas. A few years ago, I had chanced upon an unpublished essay of Isaac Asimov that he had written in the year 1959. In that, he mentions a statement in passing. The world in general disapproves of creativity, and to be creative in public is particularly bad. Now, as someone passionate about ideas and innovation, this had me completely perplexed. Could this even be true? By some chance, I read a research paper published in the year 2011 by Cornell University, which proved Asimov's hypothesis that we do have a bias against creativity. Even though we desire ideas, we reject them, maybe because the paper concluded that it triggers negative emotions like uncertainty and so on. I connected it to David Rock's SCARF model: status, certainty, autonomy, relatedness, and fairness. Maybe those are getting triggered. We had covered these in the episode 8 and 9 of this series. Now, to show you all how this bias against creativity might work, I took one example from history. In the year 1920, New York Times wrote a scathing editorial about Professor Robert Goddard's plan to launch rockets into outer space. Professor Goddard, later known to be the father of modern rocketry. New York Times concluded that he didn't even know Newton's third law, which was being ladled out daily in high school physics across the country. To their credit, in 1969, after Apollo 11 took off for the moon, New York Times printed a correction to their 1920 editorial, saying that yes, rockets can function in a vacuum. Now, this is not an unusual circumstance. History shows that almost every major radical breakthrough faced a similar ridicule. Interestingly, Albert Einstein himself ridiculed the atomic bomb, which was based on his theory of E equal to mc square. He said that atoms cannot be split at will because he couldn't anticipate the invention of the chain reaction. People will asphyxiate and die on high-speed trains. No one will watch the TV after 6 months because it could be very boring. Heavier than air aircraft is impossible. And the list of such ridicule for many inventions and breakthroughs goes on in history. With that, I thank you all for listening to my coverage of what I started calling Asimov's axiom, that we all disapprove creativity, and that is the biggest reason why we should not start our innovation projects with ideas. See you all again in 2 weeks.